Instead of calling out somebody, I'm going to call out myself. I cause a little bit of scene. I go, I'm out of here. I'm out. And the boys are like, EA, just stay with that. And I'm like, nope, I'm out of here.
Erin's texting me, I just created a scene. I need to calm down. These are literally her texts to me. I just created a scene. I need to calm down.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeart Radio.
Start from the beginning.
No, you start from the beginning. It's week 4. Well, we're done with week 4. How are you feeling with this travel? I look like absolute, like our dog, or our boss would say, dog food, besides dog crap. How are you doing? How is it going? I have so much to talk to you about. It's week 5. It's week 5.
I know, which is nuts. That is nuts. So 2 things that I have cautioned myself not to talk about on this podcast when it comes to football season is A, saying I'm tired because fuck me. Like we're so lucky to do this
we
job.
We wanted this. Yeah.
We asked for this.
You wanted this.
And B is complaining about traveling because it's like, yo, when COVID happened, you and I bitched all day long about all we wanted to do was be on an airplane. All we wanted to do was work. So
now,
I will say this.
How do you feel?
I will say this. I am getting really good at drinking a lot of water because I am not great at drinking water. Welcome everybody to the Calm Down podcast.
Hi guys,
there's a lot to get through. If you're not watching on YouTube, I don't know how you consume our podcast, but we appreciate you consuming it nonetheless. Erin has a blanket wrapped around her like she is just finished a marathon and she's wrapping a blanket around because she's hypothermia. I have this fleece vest thing, a Sherpa on, because I put the air conditioning on in this garage and I'm freezing as well. So anyways, it's week 5. I am thankful to be here. Oh, Jared, hello.
He can't hear you. He says hello.
Hello.
Anywho.
So I'm getting a lot better about drinking water and I'm becoming very good at bringing, if anyone has recommendations for hydrating masks, the Neutrogena has been my favorite so far.
Oh.
It's the one that like you open the packet, comes in a blue packet and it's dripping the liquid already out of it. And then I just rub it all over my neck and my hands.
Yes,
so that's my favorite hydrating packet.
Yep.
But I'm just happy to be here, you know?
So you look great. How's the packing going? Anything new updating with the packing?
Absolutely terrible. We checked in Dominique. So you'll hear a lot of us. Well, you've heard a lot, friends of the podcast and listeners. Jillian Gregory travels with Erin. Dominique Diaz travels with me. And she's a cutie, just like Jillian. Couldn't ask for better people to be like stuck on an airplane, had the luggage lost. We will get to that in a second. We go to check in and Dominique does my hair and my makeup. So this poor little thing maybe weighs 90 pounds wet. Her luggage she always has to check a bag in because it has all the shit that I need because not a natural beauty.
Right.
And so we go early. So she checks her bags and she looks at me and she's like, are you going to check a bag? And I was like, no, I never check a bag. And she goes, because we left on Tuesday and we weren't coming home till Friday and I had to go to Chicago and then Cincinnati. She goes, you have everything you need in that suitcase. And I was like, yep. And that's good, bad, or indifferent. I am the queen of rolling. Everything's wrinkled. The shoe is like folded like this because it's crammed in there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but I just can't check. So
no.
Guess what happens? Here's the portion of the program where we talk about airplanes. When I get that Delta notice, which I appreciate, in this case, it was American. That's why they lost the luggage. I'm not happy with American, and either are you. We'll get to that in a second. But Delta will tell you, like, your zone is boarding. Well, American doesn't extend that courtesy. So, or maybe they do. I just don't have the app. I don't know.
Yeah,
so
they do.
They do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, either way, every plane is different. The bag that fit on the overhead in one plane, because I'm connecting, does not fit in the other one. I have to check the bag.
Sure.
Now I'm like, well, you know what's going to happen? The second you have to check, it's going to get lost. It's just the way it works. So we land in Cincinnati. It's coming from Chicago. It's 1:00. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling the story. You're sitting there and the bags are going around and now they're dwindling. Now there's 5 bags. Now there's 2 bags. Now there's 0 bags.
It's the worst feeling.
Now, the only feeling that makes it better is you look around and you're like...
what time is it in Cincinnati?
About 12:30.
Early,
so
sure.
You're looking around and you're like, at least it's not just me standing here. There's like 25 people. So we're all like, okay, wherever these, gate checked bags, we're all in this together. Anyways, time goes by. It's now 1:00. They say the belt is broken. These are broken. Mine are broken.
So what time's your production meeting?
It's at 8:00. So I'm like, that's it, Dominique. And Dominique has her bags because, well, the bags that she checked made it, but not me. This one doesn't. Anyways, stay with me. This story's ending. Finally, I'm like, we're out of here. I'll come back in the morning. I'll come get the bag. Right as I'm walking out, then the bag gets going. We're able to pick it up and keep it moving. But
Sure.
that is a situation where you don't know, am I going to have to go to the mall and buy some clothes? If I am, you've had it happen. Mm-hmm. But luckily, the luggage made it. I refuse to check my bag if I don't have to. But you're very good about sending clothes ahead of time. I'm still not there yet. I just started doing alterations.
I'm so proud of you. What were you getting altered?
I've never had my clothes altered unless someone tells me to, and now I'm doing it on my own like free will, which is a game changer. Today, the alterations, sweet little Linda was like, I was like, oh no, these pants are fine. She's like, no, they're not. I'm like, oh wow, this is like a whole new world, Ariel.
See, anyways, I don't have the eye for alterations. Like if someone tells me they need to be altered, I'm like, great, where? I don't know. Like I don't know. I know when something's too short or too big, but I don't know if like you taper it in here, it'll help like with the size of the width of, sure.
Completely.
I don't know.
But then once you get those tailored clothes back, you think to myself, how have I ever lived without this?
Sure. But then you realize this shit's expensive.
Oh my God. That and dry cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this move? Okay, you tell a story, then I'll tell a story, then you tell a story, because I've been rambling on and I've been told that I need to be more succinct.
Who told you that?
I don't know myself. I just ramble.
Oh, that old thing. So here's my story. Instead of calling out somebody, I'm going to call out myself, but I'm also going to call somebody out. I can't take all the blame. So yesterday we do
You sound like me the last week. It's not all my fault, but I'll take some of the blame, but it's not all my fault. Go.
But we had a 12 o'clock game. So we were able to make a 5 o'clock flight out of Dallas, which was major because we were home by 6 o'clock, which was awesome. I'm home by like not even halftime of the Sunday night game, which is awesome. So, but you have to know, you get there, it's a mad dash to get to the airport. You would love to get out of your clothes, put on some comfies, maybe get a cocktail. I got a cocktail dress. Get a cocktail and maybe like a little snacky poo. So we have this nonsense on our wrist, right? We have this like what they call a stack. I am not a doer. I'm a follower. I follow my friends, Charissa, Constance. They have these great like bracelet stacks. I know
I'll tell you where mine's at. Mine's still at the repair shop. I only got one left that fits. This is one that you gave me. And I'm not going to say her name because I'm a classy broad. But do not go to the place that we did because they break. And I don't even know if they're real. I'm going to go ahead and get them all examined. But enough about me.
I lost one of the diamonds in my rings, by the way, from there. Anyways.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Oh,
it wasn't real anyways. You didn't lose anything.
Oh my God. Okay. So I know that I'm going to beep, right? Going through TSA. So we're all trying to do it. And you guys have to realize too, we're traveling with all men. We don't want to be the girl with all the bracelets because then you're the girl, blah, 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 blah. So I beep and I'm like, I'll just go through the x-ray thing and put my arms up in the air. You guys can see it's these. And the lady's like, please go on the other side. She was not having it. So I was like, okay. So I was trying to be nice. I'm so hungry. It's all the things, hangry. I'm just sitting there. And she's like, could someone pat her down? Could someone? And there's Greg and Kevin. And I'm like, I'm an embarrassment. You guys go. I'll meet you at TGI Fridays. It's fine. We're good. Just go ahead. No, EA will wait. No. Ma'am. I'm trying to get someone to pat you down. I'm like, oh, shit. Finally, I take my shoes off. I make it through. We're good. So the traveling Wilburys, which is like 7 of us, are going now to the Admirals Club.
What's the Wilburys? Is that a show?
I think it's a band. Tom Petty was in the Traveling Wilburys, right? George Harrison.
Wow.
I think so. I'm sure Ryan will try.
That's exciting. I know we listen to the Commodores. Lionel?
So this group, we're all moving now to the Admirals Club, which I love. And I have I have just about 2 million miles on American. I love it a lot. I do have the Chase card. I do pay that hefty bill every month, which I don't put anything in that card. The only reason why I have the credit card is to get me in that damn lounge when I do have 10 minutes to spare to take a pee, to change my clothes and get a drink. That's all.
Sure.
Roy Orbison and Jeff Lynne from No Idea.
Much. Roy Orbison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, back to you. I can't say ours. So
I know,
anyways,
Angel. comfies and
so I get into the
silly
Admirals
poo.
Club and my card is not with my number. I have a picture of my card. Nope, you can't. We got to have the physical card.
No.
I'm hungry. I'm tired. I got to pee. I want to get in my comfies. I pay whatever it is a month to have this card. Ma'am, please. Nope. If you want to talk to my manager right away, we threw the manager line in.
No.
So I was like, I caused a little bit of scene. I go, I'm fucking out of here. I'm fucking out. And the boys are like, EA, just stay with that. And I'm like, nope, I'm out of here.
Erin's texting me. I just created a scene. I need to calm down. These are literally her texts to me. I just created a scene. I need to calm down. You're very good at governing yourself, though. Maybe not in the moment, but retroactively.
I just knew I had to be out of there. It just makes me mad when you pay that a month. I have a picture of my card. I'll show you my license. My membership doesn't expire until the 23rd. I know I should have talked to the manager because I probably could have explained it. But by then I have already peed my pants. My flight is boarding. It's like,
totally.
It doesn't even make sense. So then the sweetest Rich Gross on our crew runs out of the Admirals Club. He's like, EA, you can be my guest. Please just come in. So I walk in and it's like, Greg's like, wow, that escalated. I was like, I gotta pee. I just want to change my clothes. I'm hungry. I need something. Anyways, it wasn't all their fault. It was part my fault.
Okay.
Pay that fee.
So,
can you just let us in?
It's shaming. It's
I don't
this
even
is what happened
use
to
the
me.
card. I just pay that bullshit membership fee every month to get in there. You gotta have the physical card.
I get that rules are rules, okay? That's fine. But let's just do a little interpretation of the rules. Like me, I pay a lot of money to go to a certain gym, and apparently there's an even nicer membership that you can have for the same gym, but it's like a special club, whatever. So So I go in as a guest of Steve's because he's a fancy member of that gym. And they're
Loves
like,
the sauna.
you can, my God, it's called an executive. He goes, I went to go work out. And the workout's just sitting in the sauna. That's not a workout. You're just sitting there. That's not a workout. You're just sweating. He's like, well, how's that any different than a hot yoga class? I'm like, you're moving, you're stretching. He's like, who's to say I'm not stretching? That's
Ew.
By the way, I need to have Jarrett and Steve I propose this to them because you and I think that we know all the answers and we have, solutions to everything. I would love Jarrett and Steve to get give their perspective on our rationalization on all things. So we go into this fancy whatever gym. He goes, you can use a pass for her. So already I'm feeling like I'm in row 32B. Like I have the membership, but I don't have the fancy membership. And then the woman, full makeup and she at the gym. I'm like,
very
relax.
Expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, God, I felt like Reg Bev will. And so she's like, oh, you can't use the pass on weekends. So now it's like, right. And you know what Steve should have done? Left with me. And he's like, ooh, sorry, can't use the pass on weekends. He went and worked out. And I was like, okay. And I walked to the elevator, all ashamed. I was like, okay, I'll just go run outside. But come on, let's just make an exception. I'm a member of the gym. It's the whole thing. Anyways, whatever. It's fine. Make an exception. You're whatever.
I thought so.
You were also texting Ryan and I, our wonderful producer, saying that you had a story about texting the wrong emoji or something to a colleague. Tell me, go.
Yes.
There's some things you'll tell me before, some things you won't. This is one I need to hear.
The other day, I was texting. We're on a group text, and with myself and my coworkers. And one of my coworkers asked me something or sent me an article, so it was off the group text. So I laughed. I did the laughing emoji. But have you guys ever had where you're doing the repeated emoji, and then your finger slips to another one you haven't?
The old finger slip.
And it wasn't phallic, and it could have been a lot worse, but it was like laugh, 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 heart. And he's my coworker.
Oh,
and
that's
I was
not bad.
I got sensitive because I was like, oh my God. And so immediately I wrote, I wasn't hearting you, by the way. I just want you to know I wasn't hearting you because I don't know, we're a new crew and I don't want somebody to think I'm laugh, laugh, laugh. Heart. That's not what's happening here.
You retracted a heart? Now I think that's even worse. You're saying you don't like the guy. You're retracting the heart.
Not only did I retract the heart, when we came down to the meeting room, I told everybody about the heart, and I said how I was so before he came in, and so I was like, "Hey guys, so this is what happened. I'm feeling really awkward." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then he came in and he's like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And I was like, "So I'll tell you what's up. I feel so awkward, and I've told everyone about it." And he was like,
"Oh my God, classic Erin."
Okay,
yeah, she's gonna.
So yesterday, we're on the plane and Kevin is behind me, and I've told everybody this story, and Kevin's behind me, and I texted him something. He texted back, laugh, 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 kiss. And he goes, "Oh my God, EA, I just did it." And I said, "I'm texting Ryan and Charissa right now and telling them," because it's like one slip of the finger, and you don't want somebody to think like,
you did a slip of the finger on a mass text chain with the water emoji. And if anyone doesn't know what the water emoji is, we're not going to explain it because we're family friendly here. But if you don't know what it is, she responded back with the water emoji with a lot of people on this chain. I was like, Erin, you don't know what that means. And she's like, I don't. And I'm like, don't use it in this situation. Like, seriously, I might be late to the alteration in some fashion sense, but you're late to the whole
party.
Response to the party on emojis. Like, I'm like, oh my God, don't use that eggplant. This is crazy. Don't say you're hungry
use the eggplant.
with an eggplant. I
didn't. It was the water one. Oh God, my face hurts so bad, and it's not my zit.
Shit.
Anywho, there's that.
The old slip of the finger. It gets you every time. It's too good.
Oh God, it's so good. In balancing, listen, not everybody does what we do for a living, but there's mothers out there. There's people that have multiple jobs. They have, dealing with their relationships in life and other things. I realize not everybody is juggling traveling and being on conference calls with players and all that. But all of you at home and that are great enough to listen know what it's like to juggle your life, your work, all the things. I had a story that I had to tell you the other day. So we get on these conference calls with the coaches, the offensive coordinators, the defensive coordinators, and the quarterback. And we do that for both teams. And then what I like to do on my own is I like to have a offensive player and a defensive player call me on their own time so I can get information that Kevin and Greg don't necessarily have, so I could actually be useful on the broadcast. So this past week, when
you're very useful.
The Commanders Dallas game, Dallas was nice enough to have Micah Parsons talk to me. Beast. Also, really funny guy. Like, he's just hilarious. The stuff that comes out of his mouth. He's young, second year in the league, but he's just so refreshing because he says funny shit. So he calls me, and as you just experienced today when you called me, we got new Wi-Fi in our house, and for some reason, when you walk around, the calls drop. That makes a lot of sense. No. So at one point, I thought they dropped. I'm really sensitive when I talk to these guys on the phone because I realize they only have like 10 to 15 minutes. You got to keep it quick. Like, you're the fifth person they've done an interview with that day, yada, yada. So I'm running around. I'm like, shit. I'm recording it. I'm listening. I'm asking him these questions. And then Jarrett comes home in the middle of the interview, and Howie hears Jarrett. And all of a sudden it's like, and I was like, oh my God. And Mike is talking. I put my phone on mute. And then he stops and I go to talk and my phone's muted. So I'm like, he's like, hello? And I was like, oh my God. Unmute. Hey, so, and then in the background, you hear the dog. And he's like, damn, what kind of dog you got? A guard dog? And I was like, actually, he's an 80-pound golden retriever. God love him. No, his dad's
family
home.
Friendly.
And I'm like running in and out of the house. It's just like, you get it. Your dog's bark. It's just like,
yeah, but also, when they know you're muting because it's a lot of ambient noise, mute. Ambient noise, mute. I know when you're muting me, and then I think to myself, what's she doing? Is she even listening to what I'm saying?
You're not listening?
You're not listening? You're not listening? I used to do this on voicemails, which I no longer leave voicemails because I don't like when people leave me voicemails. I used to leave a code word at the end of the voicemail. I'd say like kitty cat. And so then the person would call me back and they're like, oh yeah, I got your voicemail. I'm like, oh, did you? What was the code word? And they're like, what? I was like, you didn't listen to the voicemail.
How the hell did you think of doing this?
Well,
where does this come from?
Because I know what I don't do. I don't listen to the voicemail. I'm like, oh, got your voicemail. And then they're repeating everything they already said. Yeah, so Eastern Illinois. Like, oh my God, I'm telling you. Which by the way, shout out to Megan. Nice to meet you. Sean Payton's daughter. She was at the studio.
Megan Payton.
Yeah. And she was so sweet. And she was like, I love your podcast. And then I always feel like whenever anyone says, again, this is apologizing. Whenever anyone says that they love the podcast, which is so nice, I want to be like, oh, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. Like, okay, they electively are listening to it, but I like feel bad. Like, I'm like, sorry. But so she's so sweet. But yeah. So leave a code word. What else do I like to do to test? Yeah. You got to test these people. I kept asking Steve to lower this, like, poor Steve. By the way, you think that we were like married for like 10 years, okay? But I was like, he's so nice. He's like, can I do anything to help you around the house? This is my house and home eye. I have the keenest eye for if something's level. You can't go off a level either because the level doesn't take into account that the roof might be slanted. Not everything. This is what I've learned with all of my different like house and home projects. The level's not to be trusted. Yeah, well, 1-2 step backwards in the standings. Go Broncos.
Oh my
God. By the way, I can't wait. I'm
seeing them this Thursday.
I will be seeing a lot of people at the Mile High City. I haven't been back since I worked there. How weird is that?
I love that you're going there.
2008. I was thinking I should go in sooner. But anyways, I digress. So I have a very keen eye on like what's straight, what's not on a picture. So I wallpapered my kitchen area because I needed a little pop of color in there. And then had the picture rehung and it's off. It's off center. So I was like, Steve, can you fix that for me? And he was like, sure, no problem. So I come home yesterday after work. He's so sweet. How was your day? I walk in the kitchen. I was like, did you fix that picture? And he was like, yeah, why? I go, it doesn't look like it's fixed. What an asshole. I go, it doesn't look like it's fixed. He goes, okay, I knew you were going to say that. So I'm going to tell you right now where the hammer's in this location. And he gives like a full police report. He was like, go check out the hammer's there. I moved the hammer because you said I wasn't going to fix it in this whole thing. But I'm like, it doesn't look like it's any different. So next time you come over, you see if that picture's level. But I did. Oh. I was like, did you pick up that rat? That rat's still picked up. It's still there.
Oh my God. Speaking of rat, I have to tell you, a friend of the show and friend of ours, Jacqueline Quick, who we die for, she texted us yesterday on our group chat with a couple of girlfriends. She said, I'm crying, I'm screaming. What happened? Her puppy is a year old now, killed a mouse.
It's on our text chain?
No, a different text chain. Killed a mouse. And then her baby brought it inside and yelled, Mom, butterfly. And it's a dead rat.
No.
Hold on. Look at his little hand.
Oh my
She was like, butterfly. And he was so proud to show her.
What? Oh my gosh. What are you doing? Was she Lysoling his hand? What are we doing?
I'm sure. I mean, she's a mother of the year. I'm sure she was fully taking care of that child. I think she said she took a hockey stick and like flung it in a hockey bag for her husband. The stud that he is to deal with it. So, yeah, you weren't the only one. At least this mouse looked fresh versus your rat that again looked like astronaut food.
Up. Like my under eyes dried up.
Not with those Neutrogena masks. We'd love a sponsorship.
Not an ad, but an ad.
Mm-hmm. We'd love one. What else is happening?
Okay, so earlier on the pregame that we record on and that you can listen to on Mondays, 10 minutes of fun, answer viewer questions. We love all your submission of questions, by the way. So I was talking about Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman was a comedian that was one of one. It's just he basically took on a life of his own, had all these different characters, and Jim Carrey played him. And I don't know if anyone's seen the show. I don't know if it's on Netflix or if it's on Prime. I don't know exactly what platform it's on, but it's fascinating. I haven't got through the whole thing, but Jim Carrey became Andy Kaufman, so much so that he wouldn't like when they called cut on set, he would just stay in character. And he stayed in character for so long that even after they were done filming the movie, he couldn't get out of it. And so I haven't finished the story yet, but it's fascinating because I've never wanted to be an actress, but even like Daniel Day-Lewis, for example, when he played Abraham Lincoln, he gets so far into character that like he called his wife Mary because that was Abraham Lincoln's wife. And so to stay in character and what that might do to you in terms of psychology of like really getting immersed in a character and not being able to like identify who you are versus somebody else. I don't know if there's any actors or actresses out there. I would love to know that because I also saw this interview with Mila Kunis and her and Ashton Kutcher are redoing this 70s show.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. And she was saying how weird it is to now, she's Ashton's wife, but they're like back in that same basement. And like, she said it's the hardest thing she's had to do because she looks at him as her husband, not like an actor. So the acting world is very interesting to me. I wish I could ask Vince Vaughn a few questions, but he's not available. So if there's any other actresses that we know, I want to know more about that world, because I can't imagine that it wouldn't like just completely disrupt like your well-being. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, wasn't the Heath Ledger bit about just how depressing and down the Joker was and all that kind of stuff, and what went into that? Yeah, that whole other world. We sit and bitch about the Admirals Club not letting us in. How about if you had to do like a whole thing on a guy that was strung out on drugs and alcohol, and you have to like act like that?
Get into character.
Yeah.
I know. It's fast. I have a whole different
I'm just fine with sports. Thank you so much.
First down. Okay, wait. So dry cleaning. I have hopefully, well, not, I don't know why I'm saying hopefully. I'm assuming like both people, you've got your regular laundry basket, and you've got your dry cleaning laundry basket. Somewhere in there, like things are just getting thrown into the dry cleaning that don't belong there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So I go, my sweet dry cleaner, the same place that I go to, I finally found a very, decently affordable dry cleaning service. I was getting real ripped off at the other place. Now that I realize the rates over here, I get so excited. I want to pay them double just because it's so cheap. So I go over.
But don't tip them.
You tip the dry cleaner?
No, I was just making a joke about you and tipping.
I'm a great tipper. I just don't think you should have 7 tips on top. Here's a tip. One line.
I thought of you when I signed that breakfast bill yesterday in Dallas before our game. I was like, and Charissa would die.
Did you add a gratuity on top of the gratuity?
I always do. I feel so bad. They're standing right there.
Okay. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it was on last podcast episode, and it basically, I'm the asshole. I'm always the asshole.
No, you're not.
Okay. So at the dry cleaner, and normally, like I just go in and they're so lovely. I just put the basket down. I don't need to sort out, is there 4 shirts? Is there 5 pants?
Don't count my mistakes in front of me, please.
It's like that episode of Sex in the City, or not Sex in the City. It's the sweetest thing where she has sex and there's stuff on the dress and she's like so mortified, and the class comes in. In my
Sorry to interrupt, my guy, there's always grass, because a lot of these fields, they paint their grass. There's, I get like white marks, I get whatever. And the guy will look at the cuffs of my pants and be like, oh, look at this. It's like I've done like robbed a bank. I just stood on the 50-yard line and talked to Todd Bowles. What do you want me to do? I'm doing my job. Yes. Did I get red paint on the like cuffs of my pants? Do people still say cuffs? I don't know. But that's what I got. And it's like judging me. And I don't need that. Go on.
Your phrases. I'm going to start writing these phrases down. She's on different text chains.
75.
And she is. She's 75 with the things she says. I don't know what it was. I got to go back and look your phrases. And I was like,
oh, smell you later.
She wrote in a text message on a chain yesterday, all right, smell you later.
Schrager.
I was like, who says smell you later? She was talking about someone that we aren't fan favorites of. Okay. So we're at the dry cleaner.
Oh, Dorothy.
Normally put the basket down. I leave. See you next week. Okay. So there's a long line. So I think to myself, I'm going to help him sort this out. I'm over here laying things out. Not a problem. All of a sudden, I'm like, there's a pair of underwear in there. Always comes back to underwear in bathrooms to me. There's a pair of underwear in there. There's a brand new wear sweatshirt with the tag still on it in there.
Oh,
and I'm like,
that's okay.
A dry cleaning thing. Yeah, exactly. Dry cleaning, brand new things. There's a garment bag. There's all these things in the bottom. There's the cover for Willis's dog thing. Like there's so much shit in there. And I'm like, so thank God I caught those, because in the past when I picked up dry cleaning, it's like, oh my God, we dry cleaned a thong underwear. These people probably think I'm so fancy that I need to dry clean underwear.
Up with like,
yes, and it is. It's on the little
things.
hooks. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. They are probably like, these must be La Perla. And it's like, nope, just Calvin Klein. I heard a story, and I need to ask Max Kellerman. I heard that Max Kellerman takes all the buttons off of his shirts, then gets them dry cleaned and puts them all back on. I got to find out if that's a fact or not, because that must be very expensive. But
who sews them all back on? Alterations, people.
Alterations, the dry cleaners. But yeah, you really don't know what's in the bottom of that dry cleaning basket until you start combing through there. And then there's some shame. And now you're explaining what is that mark, what isn't that mark, and why the underwear's in there.
It's a pain in the ass to go there. It really is. Like our bin is full. We need to go. And now I, have some more cuffs that have stains on them. So I need
cuffs. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't feel like this podcast flowed very well.
I disagree. We had a lull and we picked it right back up.
Ryan goes, you can rap out of this. I get it. Well, I feel like there's more I want to talk about.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeart.
For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeart app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.